After the shell has read its input from the user's terminal or from a file, it will break the input into words and operators, obeying the quoting rules that will be described later in this section. This process is also known as tokenization. A token is a sequence of characters identified as a single unit by the shell. Bash decides when a token starts and ends by looking for special unquoted meta characters. A meta character is a character that, when unquoted, separates words. There are 10 meta characters: space, tab, new line, or one of the following characters. At this moment, the shell has tokenized the command line, and there are two types of tokens: words that don't contain any unquoted meta characters, and operators which contain at least one unquoted meta character. Now about operators, there are two types of operators: control operators and redirection operators. A control operator is a token that performs a control function. It is a new line or one of the following list. Besides the control operators, there are redirection operators as well. They are used to redirect the data streams connected to a command, such as input or output, to a file. This is the complete list of all redirection operators. I don't think it's necessary to memorize all these operators. Note that operators only matters if they are unquoted. And also keep in mind that alias expansion is performed at this step too. Just to be sure that you have understood how tokenization is performed, let's take a look at an example. I'm writing the following command: ls $home greater than home.txt. In this example, Bash is reading its input from the user's terminal and will go, as discussed, through a multi-step process to interpret and execute the command. In the first step, it will break down the input into words and operators, obeying the quoting rules. So it will perform tokenization. The first step of the tokenization process is to identify meta characters and use them to break down the command line into tokens. These are all meta characters, and there's one meta character in our example, the space. So we can say that there are 4 tokens: ls, $home, greater than, and home.txt. 4 tokens. Next, it will divide the 4 tokens into words and operators. Words don't contain meta characters, and operators contain at least one unquoted meta character. In this example, there are 3 words, ls, $home, and home.txt, and one operator, the greater than sign. Note that dollar is not a meta character, so $home counts as a word. Also note that home.txt is still part of the command because greater than is a redirection operator and not a control operator, and the shell uses only control operators to determine the command. The control operator that terminates the command is \n or new line, which is hidden but exists at the end of the file. Now about operators, there are 2 types of operators: control operators and redirection operators. In our example, greater than is a redirection operator, and the invisible new line at the end of the command line is a control operator. And that was the tokenization process. After tokenization, the next step performed by the shell is to parse and identify the tokens into simple and compound commands. Now let's take a short break, and in the next video we'll discuss command identification.